I didn't plan revenge. That's the part people never believe. Revenge stories always sound neat in hindsight, like someone woke up one morning, cracked their knuckles, and said, "Today I ruined them." But real revenge doesn't start with rage. It starts with confusion, with that quiet moment where something feels wrong, but you don't yet have the words for it. For me, it started with an email that wasn't meant for me. I was 35, recently divorced, trying to rebuild a life that had cracked down the middle. I'd moved back to my hometown in Ohio, renting a small house with creaky floors and a backyard that smelled like wet leaves in the fall. I worked remotely as a project coordinator for a marketing firm. Boring, stable, safe. Exactly what I thought I needed after my marriage collapsed. One Tuesday morning, while my coffee cooled beside my laptop, a notification popped up. Final approval, phase 2. It came from my boss, Martin, but the attachment wasn't for me. It was addressed to her. Lila Grant, my best friend since college. I remember staring at her name, my brain lagging like an old computer trying to load something it didn't want to process. Lila worked in a different department. There was no reason she should be looped into my project approvals. I told myself it was a mistake. Then I opened the attachment. It was a revised proposal. My proposal, except the name on the cover wasn't mine. It was Lila's. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I might throw up. I scrolled. Every line, every strategy, every carefully worded insight. I recognized them because I'd written them at 2 a.m., pacing my living room, whispering ideas into my phone so I wouldn't forget. And there it was at the bottom. Prepared by Lila Grant. I didn't cry. That came later. At first, I felt numb, like my body had shut off something vital to keep me from breaking right there in my kitchen. I closed the file, reopened it, closed it again. Maybe it was a template issue. Maybe my name was missing by accident. So I checked the version history. Her edits went back months. Months. That was when the numbness cracked. Because this wasn't one stolen idea, it was all of them. Every promotion I hadn't gotten, every meeting I'd been accidentally excluded from, every time Martin had said, "Lila really stepped up on this one." Lila, my Lila, the woman who held my hand through my divorce, who slept on my couch when I couldn't stop crying, who told me, "You're too good for them," when I complained about work. Apparently, she meant them, not herself. I confronted her that night, or at least I thought I did. We sat at her dining table. Candles lit, pasta steaming between us like it was any other Tuesday. I told her calmly, too calmly, that I'd received an email, that there seemed to be some confusion. She didn't even blink. "Oh," she said, twirling her fork. That, as if I'd pointed out a typo. She smiled at me, soft and familiar. "I was going to tell you." "Tell me what?" My voice sounded far away, like it belonged to someone braver. "That Martin prefers my name on client-facing documents. You know how he is. Politics." I laughed, a sharp, broken sound. "So you took my work?" She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "We're a team, Em." I pulled my hand back. "No," I said, "we're not." Her smile faded just slightly. Not guilt, irritation. "You're overreacting," she said. "This helps both of us." "How?" I asked. "Well," she shrugged, "I move up faster, and when I'm higher, I can pull you up too." There it was. The logic of someone who never planned to share the credit. I left without finishing dinner. That night, I didn't sleep. Not because I was plotting, but because I was grieving. You don't realize how much trust weighs until it's gone, how heavy friendship is when it collapses on your chest. I replayed every memory, every laugh, every secret we'd shared, wondering which ones were real and which were just part of her long game. The next morning, I emailed Martin. I didn't accuse, I asked questions. Polite ones. I attached drafts, time-stamped notes, old emails where I'd outlined concepts months before Leela ever presented them. Martin replied 3 hours later, "Let's discuss in our next review." That review never came. Instead, 2 weeks later, Leela got promoted, and I got laid off. Restructuring, they called it. I watched her LinkedIn post that night, smiling headshot and all, grateful for this new chapter. Hard work pays off. I wanted to scream. Instead, I closed the app, and that was the moment revenge finally entered the room. Not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet thought settling in like dust. She thinks this is over. I spent the next month doing nothing visible. I filed for unemployment, I updated my resume, I told my parents I was fine. I even met Leela once for coffee, where she apologized in a vague, careful way that admitted nothing and blamed everything on corporate culture. I nodded, I smiled, I listened. Inside, I took notes. Because here's the thing about people like Leela, they don't stop, they escalate, they get sloppy, and they assume the people they've stepped on are too hurt, too tired, or too small to matter anymore. She was wrong. While she climbed her shiny new ladder, I dug. I went back through old projects, old emails, shared drives I still had access to because IT was slow and careless. I noticed patterns, not just with me, with others. Ideas that originated in team chats later presented as hers. Junior staff whose work mysteriously became collaborations under her name. A quiet designer who quit suddenly after a meltdown in the break room. I reached out to him, then another, carefully. Privately. Without accusations, just questions. Hey, did you ever feel like your work was being reused without credit? The responses came slowly, then all at once. Turns out I wasn't special. I was just convenient. By the time you're halfway through this story, let me pause for a second, because if you're enjoying this slow burn kind of storytelling, the kind that unfolds like real life instead of a movie montage, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps these longer, deeper stories reach more people who appreciate them. Now, back to the part where patience becomes power. I didn't want to expose Leela with drama. I wanted her to undo herself. So I waited. 6 months later, her company announced a major pitch, a national brand, huge budget, career-defining. Leela was leading it, and she reached out to me. "I could use your eyes on something," she said casually, as if she hadn't helped push me out of a job. "You always had a good instinct for messaging." I agreed. Of course I did. She sent me the deck, and there it was again. Not just my old work, new stolen ideas from people I now knew, people who trusted me with their stories. I made suggestions, small ones, harmless ones, or so they seemed. I knew the client. I'd researched them obsessively back when I thought I'd be the one pitching. I knew what they hated, what made them walk away. I nudged the strategy just enough to align with those red flags. Nothing obvious, nothing traceable, just enough. Then, quietly, I did something else. I forwarded documentation, not to HR, not to Martin, to the client. Anonymously. A timeline, version histories, proof that the lead strategist had a habit of borrowing brilliance without permission. I didn't accuse. I let the facts speak. The pitch happened on a Thursday. By Monday, the contract was gone. By Friday, Leela was gone too. Mutual separation, the company said. She called me that night, crying, angry, confused. "I don't understand. Someone sabotaged me." I listened. I let the silence stretch. Finally, I said, "You mean like you did to me?" She stopped crying. "You did this," she whispered. I didn't lie. I didn't steal. I just told the truth." She hung up. We haven't spoken since. Here's the part people expect next. The triumphant ending, where I land a dream job and walk into the sunset stronger than ever. Real life isn't that tidy. I struggled for a while after that. Revenge doesn't fix everything. It doesn't give you back lost time or erase betrayal. But it does something else. It restores balance. A year later, I started consulting independently, quietly, on my terms. Clients who cared about integrity found me. Word spread. And sometimes, late at night, I think about Leela. Not with anger, with clarity. Because the best revenge wasn't watching her fall. It was realizing I didn't need her shadow anymore. I wasn't the side character in her story. I was always the author of my own. And if this story resonated with you, if you've ever been betrayed quietly, underestimated politely, or hurt by someone who smiled while doing it, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. More long-form, deeply human stories are coming, and you won't want to miss the next one, because sometimes the most powerful revenge is telling the truth and surviving it.